Hey all, it's Loco again. I'm back with more Falcon and the Winter Soldier Quickie thoughts. Gonna be going over my thoughts on the latest episode, the 5th episode called Truth. Obviously, spoilers ahead for the whole series. Some other parts of the MCU I'll probably talk about, I don't know. It just depends on how this video goes. But be warned, you're gonna get spoiled. Go watch the episode first, or the whole series if you haven't seen it. It's really, really good. I love it. Anyways, this is the best episode so far, easily, by far, which is kind of funny because there's not a lot of action in it. Like, we start out with this like really, really well done fight between Sam, Bucky, and John Walker, which I love that fight so much. Actually, I'm just gonna hop straight into my notes. But anyways, so John Walker, we see him, starts the episode, he's running away from the scene of, him fucking murdering someone, which is not okay. But anyways, he's like going through this like internal monologue, but he's like also like verbalizing it externally. Like, he's like, why didn't I listen? Because Lamar wanted to. He didn't want to go in, and he didn't want to go in guns blazing. He wanted to do what Sam had been trying to do and reason with her, and now we see that his actions, John Walker's actions, they led to Lamar's death pretty much by extent. So it's an interesting moment for his character because like we finally see like him not necessarily regretting his actions, but like realizing, holy shit, this is my fault. But anyways, we get, of course, Sam and Bucky eventually show up and they start trying to talk him down. He's like, hey man, you need to give up the shield. You've gone way too far. You made a mistake. The government might take pity on you if you go lay down your shield and talk about the circumstances. And John Walker's like, no, I am Captain America. What are you talking about? And we get, like I said, fantastic fight. Easily the best of the series so far. Very creative cinematography, and well, not just the cinematography, but like the choreography for the action was fantastic. I love the way they use, like, there's the shot where like John Walker like basically rips Sam's wings apart, and I love that was really good. We also they eventually take the shield back and use it to like smash him down and like land the final blow on him. That was really good. I liked that. Anyways, yeah, and during the cinematography, the cinematography of the fight, we get a lot of shots like showcasing like the dried blood of the Flag Smasher guy on Walker's shield, which again, the symbolism of that is absolutely phenomenal because that's not something that Captain America like should embody, at least based on the Captain America Steve was. Like, having blood on the shield that isn't your own blood, it's the blood of a not innocent person, but someone who didn't need to die. It's like, it's just a very powerful image. Anyways, great fight. Eventually, they take the shield back. Bucky and Sam split up for a bit. Sam is in the place where Mama Donya's funeral was in the last episode. I think it's the same place. I could be wrong. But anyways, Torres, the military guy from the first episode and the second episode, shows up and he's like, hey, so Captain America killing a foreign national, kind of a big deal. We're waiting on a lead. I'm trying to get some information, but we can't. There's nothing we can do at this point. And there was a really good line, but I didn't write it down. It was like, I don't remember. It was something about waiting and waiting. Just I don't remember what it was, but it was a good line. Anyways, so we get more interactions between Torres and Sam, and eventually Sam goes back to the U.S., and we cut to John. He's being stripped of his title of Captain America. I mean, predictably. Of course, we knew that was going to happen after the entire world saw. I mean, the name of the last episode was The Whole World Watches, so. But anyways, he's stripped of his title, and we get a monologue from him that's really, it's a very ideological argument, and he's like, this is like, the panel is like, this isn't a discussion, this isn't a negotiation, this is a mandate, you are no longer Captain America. And he's like, I built my life around your mandates. And it's like, it's blind nationalism. And blind nationalism is a very major issue, especially nowadays. And it's just a very good ideological battle. And like, there's the line where he's like, you built me, and he refuses to deny that he's Captain America anymore. He's like, I'm still Captain America, yada yada yada. We cut to him, and we actually get a new character who I'm assuming is going to be some kind of big part of at least this phase of the MCU. Valentina DeFontaine, who is, I did a little bit of research on her. Apparently, she's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who is also a Hydra agent, and in the MCU, she starts manipulating John Walker. She's like, yeah, the government, they're not mad. They just have to keep up appearances. It's like, I don't know about that. But apparently, actually, according to the information I found on Wikipedia, so it's Wikipedia, take with that what you will. Apparently, she was supposed to make her first appearance in the Black Widow movie, but of course, due to the release date shifting and Marvel wanting to get something out, she makes her first appearance in this. So, which is interesting. I'm very excited to see what they end up doing with her later. But we get a short scene with Carly, and they're going to the little orphanage kind of area where they displacement camp where Mama Danya worked, and of course, they government GRC raided the place, and she's like, I did write down this line. I wrote down a lot of lines. There's a lot of really good lines in this episode, but she's like, how many times do we have to pay with our lives to be citizens of this goddamn planet? It's like, that's a powerful, fantastic line. I love Carly as a villain. Like, later in this episode, she does start going more like, upping this, like, the scale of her actions is increasing, her morals are starting to fade away, but she is a fantastic villain. I love her. It's kind of ridiculous because I've already seen people on the internet posting videos like, the missed potential of the Flag Smashers, and it's like, the series isn't even over yet. Give them a chance. Holy crap. It's like, the series isn't even over yet. Chill out. But anyways, we get to, then we cut to the Sokovia Monument that Zemo mentioned in the last episode, and Zemo's there. He's at the monument, probably paying his respects or something, and then Bucky shows up with a gun, and he's like, what is it that Zemo said? I forgot. I don't remember. There was something Zemo said. I didn't write that one down, and I really should have, but anyway, Zemo, they have this little confrontation. Bucky pretends like he's gonna kill Zemo, and he pulls the trigger, but the gun's not loaded, and then we get that really cool shot from the trailers of him letting the bullets trickle out of his hand. I like that shot a lot. I'm honestly kind of sad they used it in the trailers, because it would have been cool to see it for the first time in the show, but whatever, that's just how the industry works. They give away the coolest stuff in the trailers most of the time. Although Marvel's usually pretty good about not doing that. Sony, on the other hand, like, this is going to be a little bit of a tangent, but I was really mad when they spoiled that MJ finds out Peter is Spider-Man in Spider-Man Far From Home. They spoiled that in the trailer. It's like, you should have left that for the movie. That would have been such a great thing to see in the movie for the first time instead of spoiling it in the trailer, but whatever. Anyways, I'm going really off track here. I'm sorry. Anyways, this is not going to be a quickie video. I tried to keep it short. Not going to happen. Anyways, the government lied about... oh, right, yeah. So I actually skipped a bit of my notes. So Sam is going to see Isaiah Bradley again. And this is easily the best part of this entire episode. Because we get... Okay, well, except maybe the fight at the beginning. But the MCU actually starts tackling racial discrimination. We got a little bit of a tease of it in the second episode, but like they're going full head on in this episode. And again, it's just like this show was in production before everything that happened with the BLM movement last year. But it's just really crazy because Marvel again is ahead of the times. Like they somehow, I don't know, they predicted that this was going to happen again, and they based their show around that. And it was very interesting, but anyways, we find out a little bit more details. Turns out the government lied about experimental serums, started testing it on military people, telling them it was a tetanus shot, when it obviously was not. But anyways, people started dying, getting sick. Eventually, some of the test subjects got captured in, I don't remember, it was during some war, but Isaiah Bradley actually goes to break them out, which is a very, very much a parallel to Steve doing the exact same thing for his battalion, or I don't know military jargon, but whatever his segment of his group of troops was called. But Steve goes to do that in the first Avenger, and it's like, that's a little bit of a parallel there. But instead of being honored and praised for what he did, Isaiah Bradley gets arrested and put in jail for 30 years while they experiment on him, which is not okay. And there was a line where he says, he's like, the government wouldn't let a black man become Captain America, and any self-respecting black man wouldn't want to be Captain America. And that's an ideology that's very, again, ideological battles. That's the whole theme of Captain America movies and this series now, is we're getting different ideologies put up against one another. Who's right, who's wrong? No one's really right, no one's really wrong. That's something I really love about this series. It's moral questions. Well, not moral questions, but ideological questions. And of course, Sam disagrees with this. He's like, at least this is me projecting what I think onto Sam, so take it with a grain of salt. But I feel like his argument, his alignment is more, no, I'm going to try to make the world a better place by being the best Captain America I can be. At this point, it used to be he didn't want to be Captain America because he didn't want to taint Steve's legacy. But throughout this episode and the last few episodes, we've seen him slightly moving toward wanting, knowing that he, becoming more confident with the fact that, yeah, I can be Captain America. And eventually, let's see, what was next in my notes? Sarah couldn't sell the boat. So yeah, we're going back to this plot point, which I thought that was just going to be something for the first episode to establish the characters, but no, we get more with this. So Sarah couldn't sell the boat because it was too broken down. So Sam starts calling in a bunch of favors from the entire neighborhood and brings this whole community together, and they're all working to fix this boat, which is a really touching scene. I really like that. It shows a more human aspect to these characters, these basically gods among men, but we see this human side of them. And it's a very stark contrast to Steve, because Steve was very much, once he became Captain America, as much as he wanted to be seen as a normal person and be able to be a part of the community, he never could because of that legacy he had. But now with Sam, he's already established. He's not the man out of time anymore. He has his connections to the community already, and I think that's a very interesting aspect. And as we go on, he starts bringing more people in, and to help out. And eventually Bucky shows up, and he's like, all right, I'm going to help out too. But he brings this crate he's like, I called in a favor from the Wakandans. Now, later in the episode, we see Sam open up the crate and look into it. We don't actually see what's inside the crate. So I have two guesses. And honestly, it might be both. But my first thought was, oh, is this a new pair of Falcon wings? Because we already saw, he gave up the wings, they were destroyed. He gave them to Torres. But as I started thinking about it more, I'm like, no, what if it's a new Captain America suit? Like, what if it's his full Captain America uniforms? Like, that would be really interesting. Because like I said, he starts becoming more of Captain America in this episode. And that's really interesting. And so I'm excited to see what they do with that in the finale next week. Anyways, Bucky. So Bucky introduces himself to Sam's sister Sarah, and he's like, Sarah, and the name lingers for a minute, and then it clicked with me. It's like, oh my god, Steve's mom's name was Sarah. So for Bucky, this is this is a very interesting parallel, because Sam, it's a very interesting parallel between Sam and between Steve, and Bucky's kind of putting this together in his head. It's like, huh, that's interesting. I just thought that was a cool little callback. Let me see. Where were we? So yeah, we get a very good montage of Steve and Bucky bonding as they are working on the boat. And then Sam starts... Oh, no, wait, hold up. Before that, we get a very short, less than a minute cut to Sharon Carter. I'm not sure how I feel about what they're doing with Sharon Carter, because in this scene, we hear her talking to Batroc, who was the leader of the guys who were in the first episode trying to kidnap Torres. And I don't know how I feel about this, because she apparently connects... I think she might be working with the Flag Smashers? We don't know. It's very unclear what she's doing. But we at least know that she connected Batroc to the Flag Smashers, and now he's working with them. I don't know how I feel about that, because Sharon Carter, they had a very good opportunity to make a strong female character with her, and I'm sure that they're going to do a lot more, because we've already got Valkyrie. I'm sure the Black Widow movie is going to be great. Captain Marvel's a little bit shaky, but I'm hopeful that the next film will portray it a little bit better. But we'll just see how it goes. I'm not sure how I feel about that, because she's really the only member of the female cast here. Well, the only female member of the cast, but I misspoke. But I'm not sure how I feel about it. We'll see. I'll probably talk about that more in my final review once the series is over. Plus, the entire episode might change. The next episode might change my perspective. So, anyways, we get a montage of Sam training with the Shield, and he's talking to Bucky, and Bucky's like, he starts apologizing to Sam, and he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. You do deserve to be the next Captain America, basically. That shield is the closest thing I've got left to a family, and when you retired it made him start questioning everything." It's like, character development, yay! It's honestly just very interesting to see these two characters who haven't really had a lot of time together starting to bond and understand one another. And I already loved Bucky enough because, like, that ending scene of the Winter Soldier, Captain America the Winter Soldier, absolutely phenomenal, but I wasn't as attached to Sam. And now we're starting to understand both of them way more, and I'm starting to like these characters a lot more. I can't wait to see more of Sam as the new Cap. But anyways, Sam says, you gotta stop looking to other people to tell you who you are. And they're talking about whether Bucky's still having nightmares. And Sam's like, you're not trying to make amends with people, you're avenging them. You're trying to take down these people who you enabled in the past. Like we saw that government lady in the first episode, that little montage there. And with Zemo, actually, earlier I forgot to talk about, Zemo was one of the names in his list. And Zemo, he's like, I did the favor of crossing my name off in your book. And it's just very interesting because we see Bucky, like, struggling to make his ties to the rest of the community, and I'm very excited to see what they do with that. Sarah, we get another cut to Sarah, and she's like, they're finally putting the finishing touches on the boat. She's like, nope, dang it, we can't sell it. I don't want to sell our legacy. And Sam's like, oh, really? Took you long enough. And anyways, then we get a really fantastic training montage with Sam. There were a couple of spots where it seemed like I could tell a little bit, like, I'm fairly certain they used a stunt double, I don't know, but where his face, like, the problem with using stunt doubles is you have to make sure, the action has to be fast enough where you can't make out the differences in their face, because body types and everything, you can disguise those easy enough, especially when they're moving quickly, but you gotta move their face fast enough, and there were a few shots where it's like, and especially like when he's flipping, it's like, I don't know, is that a stunt double or is that really Sam? It broke the illusion a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know the facts for sure, but it's just something to keep in mind for future Marvel movies, I guess, especially the shows, because I don't know if I've ever noticed that in a Marvel movie. Just this might be the first time I've ever noticed it. But anyways, we get to Carly and one of the other remaining original Flag Smashers, because a lot of them have been arrested at this point. And she's like, the other guy's like, I'm sorry, I'm going way off track. Let me start over. Batroc shows up, and he's like, here, I got these weapons, here you go. And the other Flag Smasher guy, and he's like, we're working with criminals now? And Carly's like, haven't you heard? We are criminals. And it's very, like, Carly's starting to go a little bit more off the deep end. I'm still hoping that Sam will be able to talk her out of things in the next episode, but things escalate quite a bit, because we find out they're planning on doing some attack at the Global Repatriation Council's vote for the Patch Act in New York. And I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but of course they start acting it out. A lot of people are supporters of the Flag Smasher cause, including some of the security at the GRC meeting or whatever. And they start trying to hack in, and we don't find out what actually happens, so we'll see that in the next episode. And then Torres calls up Sam. He's like, yeah, we just got a ping in New York. Looks like they're starting to attack. And so Sam, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go get ready. And he opens the crate. We don't see what's in it. Probably a new uniform for his own Captain America uniform. But we will see what happens there. And then, of course, now that we're in the third act, we see the first real we see the first post-credit scene for the series, and it's John Walker welding, metalworking, making his own new shield, and he like welds his medals of honor into it. So he's gonna play into the finale somehow. I'm interested to see what they do with that. But overall, easily my favorite episode of the series so far. It's a great way of showing Marvel movies don't need to be all action in order to entertain an audience. Like, action is good, and it is very good to have it when it's done well. But at the same time, it's like, you don't need it to make these relatable characters, and you like, especially by focusing on the characters more, you can tell such a much more interesting story. And I'm already enjoying this series a lot more than I enjoyed WandaVision. WandaVision was good, but at the same time, I'm interested. I'm much more invested in the ideological battles here with the whole Captain America, John Walker, Isaiah Bradley, all of this kind of meshed together, these ideological disagreements, and seeing how they play into the series. But anyways, yeah, that's just about going to be it for this video. I know I keep saying this. School's keeping me very, very busy. Right, the RWBY Volume 8 premiere, or not premiere, what am I saying? That was months ago. The RWBY Volume 8 review will come soon, I swear. I'm so sorry it's taken me so long. And actually, you know, I should probably check, but the other day I hit 100 subscribers. I think we're at like 102 now, unless that's changed. Let me look at my channel analytics real quick. Load, please. Yep, 102 subscribers, which, thank you all so much for your support. I am blown away that we've already hit this mark. I've only been going at this since November, so about 6 months now, and I really hope the channel keeps growing. Please share my videos everywhere you can. I like getting my opinions out. I like being heard like this, and it just means a lot to me to be able to share my opinions with you guys, especially because a lot of the time I don't end up agreeing with some people, especially when it comes to my Spider-Man opinions. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Finale next week. Expect another one of these. I cannot wait. And I'll just see y'all next time.